What's up, y'all? It is another Monday. Yes. Hi. Welcome to Master Manifestors, everyone. Okay, let's see if I can pin this comment the first time. Yes. Hi, everyone. When's the last time y'all heard this song? What? Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hi. Hello, hello. We live, baby. What's up? Hey. Guys, drop in the comments where you guys are from. Yes. Me too, Danny. What's up? Oh, hey. Black Girls Graduate just joined. Hello. Let's get into it, y'all. Hey. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Hello.
I'm so excited.
I know, me too. Oh, girl, hold on. I forgot to put in my headphones.
Okay.
Oh, boo. Can you
I
hear
don't
me?
have AirPod money, so I'm just gonna be on the speaker. Hopefully y'all can hear me.
Girl, I can hear you loud and clear, and I got this when it was on sale. Because clearly these are like the first generation. So they were like, so we're going to put these on sale by like half off. And I was like, smooth. Those are the ones I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, first off, boo, you look so good. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on here.
Spice it up a little bit.
Yes,
whatever.
you had to. And this is just a cute little slide through. I saw the photo you posted yesterday on Instagram. And I was like, okay.
I was living my best life this weekend, safely, of course,
Okay,
but I was living my best life.
Yes, you were. I was like, okay, Ashley, come on, shave. Those little jeans was tight, but I was like, I heard you, sis. Yes, so let's get into it. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. My name is Kanique Swinson. I'm the founder of Soul Sister Network. And for anyone who's joining us for the first time, Soul Sister Network is a network exclusively for women of color, and it's all about manifesting, connecting, and healing as a collective. So one beautiful thing that we do once a week is we reach out to a fellow woman of color and have her come on and tell us how she manifested her best life. Hence, Ashley joining us today. I'm going to let you do your full intro, but I did want to tell people how we knew each other. So me and Ashley went to college together at Syracuse.
Yes,
Exactly. I just want to flag. I'm sure anybody who's watched more than one of these, they're like, okay, so how many people went to Syracuse? I'm telling y'all not to big up my school, but it was so many dope Black people who went to
straight up, literally,
honestly,
so many dope Black people.
Yes, from the top down. And I met you. I don't know if you remember this, but I met you my freshman year. We had a class together. I think it was like a race class and gender studies type thing. And it was my freshman year and it was my first semester and I didn't know anyone. And I accidentally enrolled in like a 300 level course only because it fit my schedule and it was at like 3 p.m. or something like that. So I was like, I don't want anything early. Let me just slide to something different. And I was like the only freshman. And it was like, a cute little Black girl row. And I would look at y'all across the way and be like, oh, I was like,
I remember that. What class was it?
Yeah, it was race class and gender studies. It was, I can't remember the teacher, but she was a Black woman, had like a shortcut.
Okay, yeah. I love that class.
Me too. Because I got an A and I knew I was going to get an A because I was Black and I was talking about being Black. So that was the reason why I took the course. I was like, if I can't get an A in a class about race,
then when can I get an A?
When can I get an A in, But yes, tell the people who you are. Let's get into it.
All right. Yeah, let's jump right into it. So I'm Ashley Obasi. I went to Syracuse. I graduated a long time ago, kind of now.
Right,
which is crazy to even think about. But while I was there, I studied public relations. So my background started in PR. But as I was approaching graduation, I was looking for resources that shared, Black women that looked like me in PR, how they got to where they were. I had internship, but I didn't graduate with a job offer from a PR agency. So I really didn't know, how I was supposed to, get into the field really.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I launched Black Girls Graduate. I was really thinking about, where can I get an online resource to see women who look like me in my career fields, changing the narrative of Black women, because in the media, now it's gotten a lot better, but in 2013, when I conceptualized the idea, the only images that we really had was like ratchet TV, like Black women throwing drinks.
Okay.
And we're so much more, Black women are multifaceted, but I really love highlighting excellence of Black people and Black excellence. And so that's really where Black Girls Graduate formed. And it grew from just an online resource that has campus career finance resources to really viral hashtag Black Girls Graduate that just celebrates Black women.
Yes, I see Star, like Danny said, multifaceted.
Yes,
with
I
the
see the
capital
comments. Hey,
N.
Danielle, how are you? She's a poppin' Black woman. Y'all should follow her.
Yes, she is. Follow Danielle. Also, surprise, went to Syracuse. Like everyone, great. Before I get into my questions, I'm just gonna flag, if you guys have any specific questions for Ashley, just click the question button at the bottom and we'll bring it up. We're here to give you as much insight into manifesting and how you branch off something of your own, even if you want to like be an entrepreneur, or like maybe if you just want to learn how to like live your best life and just take tips from her journey, let us know. Let's get into it. Okay, so Black Girls Graduate, when first off, I found the page. I had no idea that you were the founder of it at the time, and I just was following them and I was like, oh, I love this page, this is so dope. And then I think I was following it on Instagram, and then I saw you post something on Facebook, and you were like, yeah, my company, Black Girls Graduate. I was like, excuse me, when did this happen? But yes, guys, if you guys aren't already following Black Girls Graduate, go ahead and do it. It gives me my dose of Black girl magic every day, especially around like graduation time. So, everyone just graduated. So the flicks are fire. And I kind of, your page makes me wish that I could go back in time and actually put effort into my graduation photos.
Me too. Like mine were so basic, but the girls that hashtag and use our hashtag and tag us, like, are having full-blown photo shoots, and they should, like.
Yes, they so should. Exactly. And I'm like, yo, I ain't designed no cap. I was just ready to go. Like, I was like, yeah, I didn't take any professional photos, but they come, honey. They got couple photos. They got like that color smoke in the background. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, they do the work. Color smoke.
Yes, I mean,
yes, they got their hair slayed, nails slayed, makeup slayed.
Yep. All of it. And meanwhile, my graduation photos was like me in a leather jacket and my aunt was like this and the camera was tilted. I digress. But yes, so let's get into manifesting. So how did you first learn about manifesting in general? And when you heard about it, was it something that was like, this is what manifesting is? Or is it something that you were already doing and then you just heard a name for it and you were like, oh, okay.
So it was definitely something that I was already doing that I don't think I ever put a word to. But I think in a lot of ways, a lot of us manifest things and we don't realize that's what we're doing. One of the ways that I did that was creating vision boards, which is something I still do to this day. And I really don't just do them once a year. Like, honestly, my Pinterest has vision boards. Even my Instagram.
That literally. Yes, that literally is me. Me too.
Like literally, so many
exactly.
boards.
In the digital age, that's such a good point because I love Pinterest. I always feel like me and one of my very best friends are like the only two people on Pinterest. So anytime I hear anyone else talk about it, I'm like, yes. But vision boards, like, one, because I don't have a printer, so it's just so it's a lot. Yes, but if I can have me a cute little vision board, I also heard someone say that in the past they've like created like a digital vision board and like put it on the background of their phone. Have you ever done that?
Oh, okay. So I have seen of putting it on the background, but so I have also created vision boards using Google Slides, like Google, like the PowerPoint on Google.
Yes.
And like I have like vision boards all over the place for the business, for other businesses that I haven't started yet, for some businesses that like y'all don't know about that I've started. And but the collections on Instagram is a great area because I feel like I'm scrolling through my feed and I just see like popping experiences, whether it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, this is something I would love to do for Black Girls Graduate, or
Yep.
here's this bomb pregnancy photo shoot. Even though I can't even get a text back right now, I'm already manifesting that in my life at some point. So
Yes,
let me
Ashley,
save
that
this
is
pregnancy photo shoot.
me. Yes, girl, I
You
have
know?
been like adding pins to a wedding board for like 12 years now, y'all. It has been a long journey, and I just got a man like a year ago, and this has been like a 10-year process. So girl, I feel it. Yes.
Energy. I need that energy this way.
Always, always. But yes. Okay, so vision board. So you already answered kind of the next question I was going to ask, which was what is like a tool that you use to manifest. So vision board is a big one. I'm curious, do you journal at all? Is that like a thing for you?
So I would say my other tool is not
Mm-hmm.
journaling. I
Got it.
been meaning to get into it, but the amount of tasks that I have on my to-do list, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
and I journal at the wrong time. I write
Mm.
things down when I'm having like a low stage in my life. Like I like
Mm-hmm.
to write things down, and I should probably do that when things are going well. But I will say another way to manifest is through prayer. I believe in God. So for me,
Yes.
one Black Girls Graduate came to me from
Mm-hmm.
God, a vision and a dream about
Yes.
it.
Wow.
And so
Yes. Get into it.
my entire life has been designed
Mm.
by God, and like he's really like led me through different situations. And
Mm.
so that's definitely one way that I also manifest is through prayer, through
Yes.
fasting,
Mm-hmm.
and just sacrificing. You know, a fast is really just sacrificing when you
Yep.
really are asking God to work in your life, but you're also taking time to like listen to his voice and
Mm.
let him guide you to like what your next opportunity or your next stage in life is.
Yes, I love it. I love that you brought up God. I feel like to me, prayer is like the equivalent of an affirmation, which I know a bunch of people use. But like you said, I also believe in God. So for me, God and the universe are like, in essence, for me, the same thing. So when people say the
Mm-hmm.
universe, I'm like, okay, God, because he's in charge
God,
of the
yeah,
universe. He
I do.
made the universe. He made everything in the universe. But I love that. And I love that you talked about prayer because I feel like that's something that people kind of sweep underneath the rug. I feel like a lot of people emphasize journaling, which I'm like you. I would love to be that person who like started my day and ended my day with like some cute time, but
Definitely.
but it's just so hard to find the time. So for
Yeah.
anyone out there who's looking for maybe like an alternative, something that really works for me because I love to talk is to record like mini
Mm.
sessions in my voice notes on my phone. And girl, when I tell you that has helped me so much because if I'm having a
Mm.
stressed out day, I just turn on my voice notes and I'm like, y'all, like this bitch really tried me today and I'm not okay with it. But if I but if
I
I'm
love
trying,
that. That's actually
yes,
such a
it
great
helps
alternative.
because also it's like when you're having, and this isn't necessarily just about manifesting, y'all, because you can talk through your manifestations, but I kind of use it as like a one up on like my therapy too, because it's kind of like
Yeah,
when you're at your low point, if you can hear yourself going through the motions and then go back
yeah,
and listen to it, it is nothing like getting that confirmation from yourself. Like I also get it through
definitely.
prayer and God, but that's just like a little tidbit. At
I
first, you
love
feel
that.
crazy. Thank you. At first, you kind of feel crazy because I did it the first couple of times, and I was
You
like,
like talking to yourself.
exactly. I was like, Kaniki might be losing it, but
But looking
after
at Insecure, like Issa Rae, when she
that's
talks in the mirror, I feel like that's what that
mm-hmm.
made me think of. Is like
Yep,
if you
it's the
recorded
same thing
yourself,
basically. Yep,
like
it's
just
the
give
same
yourself
thing.
affirmations, and then to even
Mm-hmm.
be able to like listen back at like, wow,
Yep.
these are the things I prayed for. Like, let
Mm-hmm.
me play this clip from 3 years ago when I like
Mm-hmm.
thought that I couldn't find a way out of my current situation. Now here I
Yep.
am 3 years later. Like that, I'm gonna
Yes,
start
that's
doing
it.
that. I love that.
Do it, girl. Like it is so liberating, and that's why I do it. It helps me more so. It's great for high points, but it helps me more so in my low points because if I can
Yeah,
like get through the low point, anytime I'm having another low point, I'll go back and I'll listen to it, and I'll be like,
yeah,
okay, I made it out of
yeah.
this. I see Sherry in the comments that I record my affirmations and let it play overnight while I sleep. Love
Ooh,
it.
that is a
Let's get
gem.
into it. That is
Wow,
a
I actually
gem.
really
Come
want
through,
to do
Sherry.
that.
I I listen to other people's affirmations. If you guys are looking for something similar, if you look up like overnight or like sleep affirmations, normally people have like recordings on YouTube that could be like 8 or 9 hours long of them just repeating positive affirmations. So I've
Yeah,
done that, but I bet you it's even more powerful to hear it in your voice. So I'm with
You know
that and I
what?
love
It's
it.
so true. Like hearing it in
Mhm.
your voice, I feel like
Mhm.
there's a manifestation that's happening like while you're dreaming of like
Yep.
telling yourself that you can do it. I would say I could
Yep.
recommend another podcast that is really great for
Yes, let's
women
do it.
specifically. Affirmations. There's a girl named Shanika Adams. If y'all have heard of her,
Ooh.
she's a queen. Her
Yes. Come on,
Instagram name is
Shanika.
in Virgo World. Shanika Adams.
Oh, yes, I do. I follow her on my personal account, I think.
You do? Okay, so she
Yeah.
has a podcast, and her podcast, I like to do it when I'm like curling my hair, doing my makeup. Like she just is
Yep.
self-affirming your femininity as a woman and like just empowering yourself as a woman. So I love listening to her. Like she's awesome.
Yes. Yes, I love it. Yes. I just want to flag someone in the comments that I'm proud of you, Ashley. Me too.
I
Yes, good
see
up for
that.
you. Um, yes. Okay, so let's get into it because I want to make sure we have as much time as possible. You kind of already started telling us this story, but tell us how you manifested Black Girls Graduate. Like, I know if you feel comfortable sharing, I know you mentioned a dream. A lot of visions to me come through dreams too. So I'm curious your process top to bottom and if you feel comfortable telling us about that dream.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very interesting how this
Mm-hmm.
dream happened. I was actually talking to my sister the night before about literally what we started our conversation with. All these
Mm-hmm.
amazing people that we went to school with. My sister went to University of Pennsylvania,
Mm.
and how we knew, like literally knew people on the Forbes list. We were like, wow, this is insane. Like we know people that are doing amazing things. Like I wonder,
Mm-hmm.
like what is it that we can do? Like I'm kid you not, that's literally the conversation that we had. I go to sleep in my dream, God gives me Black Girls Graduate. I literally wake up, I search Black Girls Graduate on Google. It's nowhere to be found. I search on Instagram, nowhere to be found. I search on campus.
Come on, God.
So that same very day, I like purchased the domain and everything, and like was like, this is the vision from God of like what my impact on the world
Wow.
could be, because that's really what we was most moved by. Is like the people that were on the Forbes list were like changing the way that
Yep.
people interact with tech skills, or changing the way that just changing people's lives. And so
Yep.
like that's always been what's led me with Black Girls Graduate, is like what kind of impact or like social capital can I give to people,
Mm.
specifically resources to disadvantaged groups. And as a Black woman from the South Side of Chicago, if you read the statistics, I'm not supposed to have
Mm-hmm.
where I am today. I'm not
Yep.
supposed to have, quote unquote, made it out of the South Side. So for me, it's like, I had two older siblings that went to college.
Mm.
I had a father that was an OBGYN. So like I had people in my family to kind of like guide me in terms of the educational route and the career route. But I know everyone doesn't have access to
Yep.
that. And so
Yeah.
there's certain groups that allow access to that, but everyone doesn't have access to those groups. So Black Girls Graduate is really about an all-inclusive space. Like honestly, you don't even have to be Black to, benefit from our resources. We
Mm-hmm.
really just want to help women specifically just be the best versions of themselves and have the tools to
Yes.
lead to a sustainable career.
Yes. Get into it. Yes. Let me tell you something. I love a good dream because for me, if you open yourself up to it, one thing that I do is when I'm unsure about an answer to something, I ask God to just kind of show me the way. And I'll just audibly say out of my mouth before I go to sleep, like, God, I really don't know what to do here. I'm relying on you. Like, make it very clear
Yes.
to me what I'm
Yes.
supposed to do going forward. Because me, I'll overthink. I don't know if anybody else
Mm-hmm.
is like that, but I'll overthink 17 different options. And
Same.
then I'm here, and then I'm like, okay, what direction do I go? What do I do? And I've overthought it so much. So
Same.
at this point, I'm like, you know what, God, do your do what you do,
You really
right?
do have to
And
let go and
yep,
let God.
you
Because
do.
sometimes that
Mhm.
overthinking is like imposter syndrome in your ear, just trying to tell you that you can't do it, that you're
Mhm.
not good enough. When I just
Mhm.
saw a move today, it's like it's not that you're not good enough. Sometimes you're actually overqualified. It's okay
Yep.
to be humble, but in certain aspects of your life, that's really where you need to
Yep.
embody everything that you know that you can bring to the table. And so
Yes.
careers a lot of times when women face, especially Black women, because we're constantly told that what we can't do. So it's
Mhm.
so important for us to like affirm ourselves and have
Yep.
friends and women around us that also affirm us.
Yes. I love that, honey. I'm already over here taking notes. I hope y'all are taking notes. So you touched on something that I wanted to ask you about anyway. I don't know what told me to ask you this maybe like an hour ago. I was like, I gotta write that down. Imposter syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, like what does that look like when you're starting a business that's according to you, you know that you already know that it's destined for greatness because God gave it to you directly, right? So I'm
Mhm.
sure that gives it like an extra set of validation when you're unsure. But for anyone else out there who's struggling with imposter syndrome, how do you get through it? And what are like some things that you've told yourself when imposter syndrome is like attacking you the most, if that makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a constant battle for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I always, I'm my own biggest critic, right? And so I
Mm-hmm.
think that I'm not doing enough, or that, I should be doing more, or like I don't
Mm-hmm.
have all of the keys, I don't have all the tools to running a business, especially as a startup.
Yep.
You basically are every department. You're the marketing, you're the operations, you're the CEO, you're everything. And so a lot
Mm-hmm.
of that can be overwhelming. But one thing to always remember is that the largest companies, they all started somewhere. Amazon, Google, they
Facts.
started in basements and garages, and look where they are now. And
Mm-hmm.
I think what held even some of my growth back is, like, you mentioned earlier that you didn't know that I had Black Girls Graduate, because when I first
Mm-hmm.
started, I didn't tell anybody it was mine. I was like,
Yes,
oh,
I
people
was
know
like,
it's mine. They won't support. There's so many haters, but your haters will never outnumber your supporters. And so one thing that
I
I would
love
definitely,
that.
like, tell people your idea. No one can do it like you can
Mm.
do it. And also, you never know, that person might just want to help you. And so there's help out there. People want to help.
Mm-hmm.
People, all Black Girls Graduate would not be where it is if it had not been for all the people that have helped grow it.
Yep.
It's not been me by myself. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but that didn't happen until I started to vocalize, what I needed help with, where the gaps
Mm.
that needed to be filled, what were my weaknesses, and how can I find someone else where that
Mm-hmm.
weakness is their strength.
Yes, I love it. You say your haters will never outnumber your supporters, sis. That is a message. Because even for me, when I was starting Soul Sister Network, I was kind of like, oh, I don't necessarily want to tell people it's attached to me. Because similar to what you said, like, you don't know
Mm-hmm.
people's intentions, but then also it's like you tell people your idea and then you're scared they're gonna go and run off with it.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so how do you, this is kind of on topic, kind of off topic. How do you use your discernment to get those people in your life? Like when you were mentioning a second ago, you needing to find help for your business to help it grow and all that kind of stuff. How did you use your own discernment to find those people and to choose who to share your visions with and who to have around you?
Definitely. That's such a great question.
Mm.
For me, it really started with, like, my closest friends that I
Mm-hmm.
shared it with. And that's really how it came to grow even further, with, like, my sister and my friend Takara, who also went to Syracuse, because I
Yes.
shared it with my closest people, and they were like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this is dope. I want to help. Like, what can I do?
Yes.
And then they started to pour into it. But now it's been several years, and I've come across so many different people. I can honestly say everyone that I've come across with, I guess it's just a part of the vision that God gave me, of the discernment of,
Mm-hmm.
like, everyone has been nothing but a positive
Yep.
experience. My current team right now, I saw some of them are on live. They
Yeah.
are everything. They're definitely God sent. And
Mm.
so
What's up, team? Hey.
I think it's definitely about, like, when some people start reaching out to you, actually. Like, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, Anna, who was on here, she reached out to me. She's our intern right now. She reached out to me and she was like, I didn't even think, I don't know if you would respond or not, but I'm so glad you did. And I'm so glad that I did as well, because she goes
Yes.
hard for the brand, Arayla,
Yes.
working with me. Like, since I met her, we actually met in a whole different capacity, and, like, we started talking about entrepreneurship, and then our relationship formed and grew. So I definitely think just God will bring the right people into your life at the right time.
Yep. Alignment. Alignment. I
For
find,
sure. That's the
yep,
perfect word.
exactly. I find that like anytime I'm on the path that God or the universe, whatever you believe in, has for me, things come to me and things are just really easy. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
even you, like it kind of like I knew I was going to ask you to come on the show eventually, but it was on my to-do list and I'm like, oh, I'll get to it. And then you messaged and then I was like, oh, look, even easier. Hey girl,
Perfect.
yeah, what's up? Hey. So like, you gonna come on the show? What's up?
And I was so excited when I saw you launch Soul Sister Network, because as
Yes.
many Black women organizations that we can have, the better. Like, there is so much room for all of us, and
Yep.
all of our communities can really benefit from each other.
They
So
really
it's like a
could.
match made in heaven to like collaborate and work together. And this will just be
Yes.
one of many, hopefully, collaborations.
Already, hey, already, honey, and I'm with it. And you know, I love Black Girls Graduate. I was tagging all my graduation photos that like weren't the best, but y'all ain't repost me. But I get it. The bar is set really high.
But
for
your
Black Girls
career
Graduate.
profile was like literally one of the top like read career
Yo,
profiles.
I
of all
forgot I
time.
did that career
Mhm.
profile.
Sure
Actually,
did.
I forgot about that. That was back in the day, y'all. That was
That
when I was an
was.
intern at Rock Nation. So once you posted that, actually, that became like one of the top things for Rock Nation intern. And then people were just sliding into my DMs all day long, like, hey, how'd you? And I was like, dang, this Black
You
Girls
know what?
Graduate article.
It still ranks really high on Google. So now I work in SEO, so I look at the SEO wins for Black Girls Graduate and Rock Nation intern. That's still one of the number one. So I'm glad that's connecting you with more people you can potentially help.
Yes, come on. I forgot about that. Yo, life is crazy. That seems like it was yesterday. And like
Right?
you said, I'm pretty sure that was 5 years ago, so I'm just gonna drink my tea. Let's see. So for anybody who's trying to like manifest for the first time or like manifest a business, what kind of advice could you give them? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Definitely the first thing that comes to mind is one, if you already have your idea, write it down. I think definitely the more you write things down, the more they can come to fruition, and the more that you can expand on your thoughts. Like, I'm a visual person, so for me, like creating, Venn diagrams, like with your business name in the middle, and start with that mission statement of like, what exactly why are you starting this business? Like, obviously, it could be to gain money, which is totally fine. Why not? It's just live your best life, collect the coin, bad.
Do what you gotta do, sis. Do what you gotta
do. Is it because you want to share this talent or this gift that you have with the world? Or is it because you want to help people? Or is it because you want to change something that you see happening and you want to change it for the better? Write that down, start to build out that list and kind of expand from there. And that will really help things fall into place. Like, there's so many ideas that I've yet to actually execute on for Black Girls Graduate, but you can bet your bottom dollar it's probably been, I thought of it because it's written down somewhere, because I've thought really, how can I scale this company, long term and short term. In the short term, what are the few things that I want to start with, but also have that long term in the back of your mind that's going to keep you motivated and to keep going.
Yes, I love it. Outlining our business plans, ladies. Do it. Let's go ahead. We have a couple of questions that have already popped in. So for anyone out there who has a couple of questions, send them in now. Let's see what this first one is. Oh, that's a good one. So it says, what are your upcoming plans for BGG and where do you see BGG in 5 years? Let's get into it. I'm curious if you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah, this is a great question. So our upcoming plans for Black Girls Graduate is we are looking to contribute to the social activism with the Black Lives Matter movement, because we have a platform that's reaching over 50,000 Black women and some men. And of course, we support the Black Lives Matter movement. And so we want to, figure out ways that we can be a resource to contribute to this cause, to create change. And so we're still kind of figuring out what that's going to look like. So definitely stay tuned. You guys will see something dropping. But then also pouring into our community more. We're going to have more giveaways on the way. I have giveaways actually lined up for the community. So you guys should definitely make sure you're following us.
Yes, please do, y'all.
Items from Black-owned businesses that have reached out and then want to contribute to the grads as well as just the community. So those are probably our two main biggest things right now.
Honey, we love a good giveaway. I
love free things.
Who doesn't love free stuff? All I have to do is follow you. And then if, like, as a Black woman, like you said earlier, honey, I am here for every Black woman who's winning. I am here for all of this Black content. I am here for, like, all of this like money that's being poured into Black businesses and Black orgs right now. I'm here for it all. I'm here for the freebies. I'm here for the giveaways. So you just make sure you let me know, or somebody make sure y'all
Okay.
remind me, because I will be entering on my personal page and maybe on social
Sign
networks too.
up. It's the best time right now to, like, I don't know about
Yes.
y'all, but like for me, I want my timeline right now to be black, blickety black. So I
That
have
is
been
me.
following any and everything that's Black women empowerment,
Yep.
business
Love it all.
minded,
Give it
like
all to
that
me.
kind of stuff. Give
That's
it
me
to me.
right
Like,
now.
I'm following it.
That's me. I'm like, Black women, Black women health, yes. Black women heal, yes. Black women,
Yes.
yes. Black
Yes.
everything. Black, 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 black. Um, I love it. Yes. Okay, so I have a random question that just popped into my head. Do you read books? Are you a book person, a movie person? Like,
So I am definitely a audiobook person right now because
girl, I love it.
yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting to pick up physical books, and actually my best friend is going to be sending me a book that she has. It's actually all about manifesting actually the man that you're supposed to be with. So yeah, girl, we're
Girl,
reading
what's
that.
the name of the book? Yes,
Okay,
I wish you could
so
see my
she's gonna
feet
be sending me
underneath this
that.
desk, girl. I'm
I'll
like,
definitely I'll let you know what the title is. I forgot the title right now, but
yes.
other than that, I do read like a lot of self-help or business related books.
Love
And
it.
so most recently one audiobook that I've been listening to is Never Split the Difference, and it's about negotiation
Ooh.
tactics. And the author actually gives like free worksheets online, and those in my current role, I'm an account manager at a software company, and so there's negotiation in my role. So just learning as much about negotiation as possible, even as a business.
Yes.
As I
Yep.
have more partnerships with companies,
Yep.
I'm trying to once again collect that coin. So I'm gonna need to know the best negotiation skills. So
Yep.
there's so many free resources out there. When I'm not listening to an audiobook, I'm on YouTube. Look, you guys,
Yes.
YouTube has everything, and like not to
Everything you
discount
could want to
anyone that
know.
is selling like ebooks or e-courses or
Mm-hmm.
majority of that content that you guys are seeing from these girls that are selling ebooks and get their coin. I'm just saying, if you feel that you're going to get the content, the value that you want,
Yep.
it could probably be found on YouTube. Like 9 times out of
Facts.
10,
For free.
it's on YouTube. I learned so much from YouTube. I follow entrepreneurs that literally share free game on
I
YouTube.
love free game, honey. There is nothing like free game, especially from a Black woman, because they look like me. And I just want to enter in here and say, I'm so glad you said audiobook, because low key, high key, I am such a fraud. Girl, anytime someone asks me if I read a book, I'm like, yeah, girl, I read it. And meanwhile, Audible's on my phone playing the book at like 2 speed. I have it here's the thing, I'll buy the book and I'll convince myself that I'm gonna read the book, but it's something about having the audio. I just like, I live in New York City, so like me being on the train and letting it play while I'm like holding on for dear life.
Exactly. It makes
Well,
more sense for your
pre-pandemic.
life, definitely.
Exactly.
Like,
It just
I feel like we're
fits.
busy women. Like, it's
Low key, high key, I be at work with one AirPod in like this, listening to my audio book, making sure nobody
same.
talking to me. Like, what?
It's the best time. I mean,
Yes,
I
it
will say it's
is.
probably very therapeutic, at the end of the night to like pick up a book.
Yep.
And and that is a great practice for those of us that like to do that. And I want to get back to that at some point. But I think audiobooks,
Same.
I'm a tech girl, so if there's a technology that's going to improve and make my life easier, like I'm all for it.
I live for it. And then sometimes their voices are really soothing on the audiobooks. Like, but low key, high key, there's nothing worse than having a person's voice who like isn't the audio like the best for the audiobook, because that just ruins the experience. But the cool thing is, a lot of the times the authors themselves will be reading the audiobooks, which I love. And this is just a tiny plug for anybody who hasn't read Elaine Welteroth's book, More Than Enough. One, I love it. I live by it. Two, she has it on Audible in the audiobook. And the audiobook is so cool because like in the book, she has parts where like her parents are talking in the book. And on the audio book, her parents are talking. And it's the cutest thing. Girl, it's the cutest thing. I was like, this is so wholesome. Like her mom, she'll be like, and my mom used to say growing up, like, and then her mom will come on and be like, Lainey, get it together. I'm like,
okay,
I love it. I
I
live
heard
it. Yes.
so many great things about that book. I've definitely been
Girl, I love that book. For anybody who has not yet, someone said love that book, and I listened to it on Audible too. See, I get it. Birds of a feather, sis. Because I love it. I live for it. Yes, yes, yes. So who is like your girl boss goals? I'm curious.
Girl boss goals. This is a hard one because Let me think. There's so many amazing
Mm-hmm.
women that I follow. Who would I say is my girl? This is actually kind of a difficult question for me. Let me think, because I have so
Okay.
many. Because
Yeah,
I guess it depends on. Let me think, girl. I mean, honestly, the ultimate girl boss goal,
mm-hmm.
of course, Michelle Obama.
Hello.
She's
People
like
have
the
been
number
shouting out her
one.
books in the her book becoming in the comments
Becoming.
too. Yep.
Absolutely.
Because
Becoming,
she
I feel
also
like
talked about imposter syndrome.
she did. And she
Mm-hmm.
really went deep into just like becoming and still having her own brand and her own person
Yep.
and voice. Aside the first Black president of the U.S., that was an amazing president. So imagine being in her shoes and still, charting your own path. And like she's done such an amazing job at that
Yep.
while being so graceful. Like I admire her grace the most. Of course, I
Mm-hmm.
admire her achievements and her ability to just be such a great, like, multi-dimensional woman, a mother, a wife,
Yep.
a lawyer, an attorney. Like, she just
Mm-hmm.
really goes from head to toe. So,
Goals.
for me,
Most educated first lady ever. I love that statistic.
literally
I'm
most
just like,
educated, like, just everything. Like,
yes,
and then
honey, she
she's
is
also
gold.
lickety black. She's herself. She's never, in my opinion, has tried to,
Nope.
be someone she's not or
Nope.
assimilate. That's the word I was looking
Mm-hmm.
for. She's been
Mm-hmm.
very to herself. She's from the South
And
Side of
I was just about to
Chicago.
say, isn't she from Chicago too? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
she's
why.
from
That's your
Chicago.
girl.
So
That's the
I really
pinnacle
just
for you,
relate. I
then. Yes.
resonate with her. Like,
Yes, that's your girl. That's your
I
girl.
always tell
I'll
people,
give
like,
you
just
that.
give me 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
with Michelle Obama in the elevator, and
Mm-hmm.
Black Girls Graduate, like, it will blow up because we're
Exactly.
aligned. She has her.
Manifested, sis. It's coming.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm waiting. I have my elevator pitch prepared for the day that it comes. I know it's not
Yes.
one day.
Yes, and when it will, you gotta update us. I'm gonna I'm gonna plug the book that we were talking about before is More Than Enough by Elaine. I think you pronounce her last name Wilteroth. Someone mentioned it in the comments too, but a couple of people have been asking the name of the book we were talking about. And then after that was Becoming by the wonderful Michelle Obama, who
Yeah.
also is a queen from the South Side of Chicago, like Ashley Boot. it's
Yes.
it's nothing like repping and putting on for people that are like from where you're from. And I
Yes.
know people from Chicago got so much pride. I'm like, I love it. I live for it. I'm from North Carolina, so it's not that many of us, but clearly because it's not that many of us, we go really hard. So
Yes.
granted, he's not a Black woman, but I love me some J. Cole. So like, I'm just gonna
Nice.
plug the person who I
Yes.
stand for in all of this.
Plug.
Um, yes. Okay, so curious because we were clearly doing a lot of talking about manifesting and the law of attraction and all that good stuff. So, what do you think is like a big misconception that people take on about manifesting?
That's a great question. I think that people misconceive like the idea of like a timeline with your manifesting.
Mm.
Like I think that you can't really apply a timeline to a
Yep.
manifestation unless it's gonna be like a SMART goal that is like
Yep.
achievable, measurable. So if you're gonna apply a short-term goal, like a B Simone, like I'm gonna make $1 million in my savings account by this date.
Mm-hmm.
Manifesting that is more so she actually outlined I need to sell more beauty products. I need to,
Mm-hmm.
sell my book. I need to take on
Yep.
more interviews. So that was like a manifestation, but it was really more like a goal setting strategy
Yep.
versus saying, I am going to reach women in
Yep.
2020. That
Mm-hmm.
is something that's attainable. It's a little
Yep.
broad, and so you're
Mm-hmm.
allowing the universe to kind of do its own thing and make
Yep.
that happen. And
Yep.
so, like, I don't want someone to think that I'm just gonna, think about every night my husband is going to marry me by December. I'm gonna find a husband
Mm-hmm.
by December. Like, don't, set yourself up for disappointment by like
Yep.
setting like unrealistic expectations with your manifestation.
Mm.
Like, set things that are more
Yes.
in your control. Like, I'm going to wake up happier. I'm going to feel better about myself. I'm going to, look good every day. I'm going to start doing
Yep.
my makeup. If I look on the outside, maybe I'll feel good on the inside. Or
Yep.
I'm going to
Yes.
speak more positively about myself and watch
Mm-hmm.
my, personality change, or watch the way that people
Mm-hmm.
interact with me change. I'm going to change my energy. These are things that
Yes.
manifest.
Yes, I love it all because you're hitting the nail on the head. I love that you said the timeline of everything because I feel like now more so than ever, a lot of people are kind of being introduced to manifesting for the first time. And I think the misconception people have is that just because you sit down and say I want this job at this place by this summer, that that is how it works. Like manifesting isn't some like magical spell that gives you
Right,
everything you want. It's about
right,
helping you align to the things that you want
right,
more of. And I love that
right.
you said to be broad in your request. I think that's the key. You can't be too specific, you know, because you
Yeah.
can't, just like you were saying before, if you get too specific, you're going to block off so much that God and the universe could make happen because you're only
Mhm.
focused on such a tiny portion. You know,
Yes,
like someone in
yes.
the comments,
Someone said
Ebony,
it. Yep.
what, it
Oh,
works on its
someone in
own
the comments
time.
said it works on its own time,
Yep,
and I think
yep,
that's
we both
100%
peeped it.
correct.
Yep,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
so
100%
true. It
correct.
does. You have to give it, anytime you're manifesting, you have to give it space to breathe. Give it
You
some
do.
space to breathe. And like you said, be broad with it. So like if you know, say that you want to meet your husband, just say, you know what, I want to meet, you know, my husband, but I want to be more aligned to the person I want to be so I can attract the type of man that I really want. That's
Exactly. Yes.
exactly. That's
Like
what
I
ended up
want to
working
change
for
certain
me.
parts of myself.
Mhm.
Like let me work on myself because I
Yep.
know that's going to help me manifest and attract the right type of energy. You know, the more
Yep.
love and respect I show myself, others will
Mhm.
follow suit and that
Yes.
align with that same level of love and attraction. And so maybe that's going to change the
Exactly.
kind of men that come into your life.
Exactly.
Because now you're carrying yourself differently, and they
Mhm.
notice that. People take note of that.
They do. I love it. Look at all these hearts. Yes, honey. I'm loving it, eating this up. Jesse makes stuff said and let it go. Don't focus on it all day, every day. Turn it over to the universe. Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
absolutely.
The biggest key for me is the letting go part because when I first started manifesting, I thought like, okay, me manifesting means that like I'm gonna sit and think about and like, okay, like if I want to launch a business, I'm gonna think about this business every day. I'm gonna dedicate time to this every day. When really I learned that like, sure, I need a goal set, similar to what you said B Simone did. But if you harbor on one goal all day, every day, it's just kind of like, sis, give it some space to breathe, you know?
Right. You don't want to get
Mm-hmm.
burned out. Like that's a real thing. And
I love
I
that.
am
Yep.
someone that I do that to myself kind of quite
Mm-hmm.
often. I'm not perfect. That's one of my flaws is that I definitely
Mm-hmm.
burn out because
Yep.
another thing that I do on the side is graphic design. So it requires me to be very creative. And
Yes.
sometimes like I just burn out where I just can't even create because like I'm just not in
Mm.
the mindset or the zone. It's probably
Yep.
because I'm overthinking the process. I'm overthinking the deadlines. And there's
Yep.
different things that those different factors that come into the play, like come
Mm-hmm.
into the mix or whatever. But you definitely want to just kind of find your vibe, like whatever it is. Like if you want to manifest when you are, you got some music in the background, maybe you're ready to run some
Mm.
bath water.
Yes.
You're gonna find a rooftop, a glass of wine, whatever it is for you
Mm-hmm.
that make sure you're most like chill,
Yep.
relaxed state of mind, and then that's when you can get to writing down your dreams or getting to
Yep.
write down the things that you want to happen in your life in the next year or 5 years.
Yes, I love that. The last thing you said is so spot on because I realized that like making sure that you feel good as a person is something that you have to work on every day. And I realized if I didn't feel good, I couldn't manifest. It was
Yep.
like when I was so, anytime you're holding on to something too tightly, you're so focused on it that it's hard to feel good about it.
It
So
is.
similar, like you said, you have to find like what works for you. So if that's like waking up and dancing every day, I do that. If
Yes.
that's like reading my Bible or reading like a
Yes.
devotional that day, it could be that. It could be going
Mm-hmm.
like buying myself some flowers. It could be talking to
Yes.
my
Yes.
homegirl on the phone.
Yeah,
It could
call
be
your
doing,
homegirl, FaceTime
yes,
your
that
girl, like whatever it
face.
is that's gonna
Yep.
get you in a great mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. And then easily this has turned into like a big pick me up, Master Manifestors for me for the week because I'm like, I love that I get to talk to women that look like me, that are doing what they need to do and are in positions that I see myself being in, right?
Absolutely.
Because you're a boss and I'm like, I'm a boss too. So like what's up?
You're definitely a boss,
Um,
and I know the feeling. Like it's
uh-huh.
magical. Like
Yep.
getting to connect with so many other Black women. Like that
Yes,
was
it is.
literally my favorite part about starting Black Girls
Yep.
Magic were those interviews and like hearing all these different stories and how they
Yep.
came to be where they were. Like that was so much like energy that
Yep.
motivated me throughout the week. Like It's
It is.
crazy.
It's like
It's such a
it's a
great
high.
feeling.
It's a
It
high.
is.
It's like a drug for me now at this point. I'm like, I love talking to these women. Afterwards, it's like a nice little debrief, and everyone's like, "That was great," blah blah blah.
Yes.
And then I like
Yes.
have all my notes, and then I get to like debrief and like bring what we talked about today back to the page, and be like, "Hey, remember y'all when Ashley was talking about blah 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 blah? Hey, remember Black Girls Graduate?" And then afterwards, it's so natural, and that's the thing about what you were saying earlier about alignment. I feel like for me specifically, the people that have already aligned for Soul Sister Network offer like such amazing support as I'm going on my journey. Like every time
Absolutely.
I like interview the next person, the other person who I interviewed the past couple of weeks is always there. Like, "Hey girl, what's up? Yes, love it,
Yes.
live for it."
Yes. That
And I'm like,
connection, those
"Yep,
links that you're making,
mm-hmm,
like it's proven there's something so powerful that happens when
yep,
women support each other. Like, and I'm
it
not just
does,
saying that, it's really honestly true. Like,
yep,
the more women support each other, like, just the further that we all can go,
yep,
and the further we can move that needle. Like, I want more women to, you know, you don't have to start a platform. It's just like reach out to whoever it is that inspires
same,
you.
reach
Like,
out,
that's one great positive thing about social media that I love. And
mm-hmm,
there's people that I am literally friends with via social media I have still yet to meet in real life. But when I tell you, like,
mm-hmm,
they're like my homegirl, because the
love it,
support
live
goes a
for it.
long way. Like, and that is
So
so real,
far.
man.
Yep. And then that's the cool thing about, I was talking to my friend about this earlier. That's the great thing about social media is you can have people supporting you who are not, you've never met, who are from a different country. Like I consistently
Yes.
have people who come on these lives and, or like will watch it back. And one girl is always like, "Oh, you know, I live in South Africa. I can't catch it live,
Yes.
but I'm gonna watch the replay." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yes.
Like
Like,
all
you're
the way
reaching
from
someone in
Brooklyn,
South
New York.
Africa.
Yes. And I'm like, look at God. This is crazy. Yes, sis. Yes. I'm loving for it. I'm living it all. Yes, 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 yes. Let me see. I feel like we talked about so much. Like I'm just kind of like, dang. Before we wrap it up, let me know if you guys have any other questions for Ashley before we close it out. But I want to thank you, one, for coming on. You're incredible. I'm already so
Thank
inspired by
you.
you. Black Girls Graduate is the shit. So again, if you guys are not
Thank
already
you.
following Black Girls Graduate, make sure y'all do that for real. A little bit about what we have coming up with Soul Sister Network is Soul Sister Network. We have our next workshop this coming Sunday called
Awesome.
Surrender to the Sweetness. And it's all
Mm.
about just surrendering, you know, doubt, worry, and fear so that you can welcome in the sweetness and like the love and
Awesome.
gratitude of life. So if you guys want to check that out, there's a
Love
link in my
that. I love
bio
that.
more about that. Yes, baby girl.
I love that.
But I want
Absolutely.
you to take us out, like whatever inspiration you want to leave us with, whether that be like something specifically to Black women, or whether that's like, you know, a last tidbit about manifesting, whatever is on your heart, honey. I am here openly to receive it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's really been on my heart lately,
Mm-hmm.
and something that I've been doing lately, is using the quarantine to just become a better version of myself. And so I think it's something that we all
Mm.
can do right now, because this is alone time. And I think that
Yes.
we often don't get alone time enough. Like, if there was no quarantine,
Yes. Yep.
we'll be at brunch on Sunday,
Yes, we
happy hour on
would.
Wednesday,
Yes, we
back to it on
would.
Friday, and like
Yep.
before you know it, you're just doing so much, and you're
Mm.
almost losing yourself in that process. Because
Mm.
I think
Wow.
there's something powerful about being around people. Like, I need that at some level,
Same.
but also when you're around so many people, you can't always like show up truly and about like who you are in that moment. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you're
Yep.
like depressed, but you want to
Mm-hmm.
support your friends, so you're gonna go anyways. You're
Yep.
gonna, perform, have a good
Yep.
time, be there, and be that supportive person. But right now, we don't have those obligations to have to go
Mm.
somewhere. So it's like, let's
Exactly.
use this time to really invest in ourselves and
Yes.
relearn ourselves. Get to know ourselves in a
Mm.
different way, and even
Yes.
um, you know, re reevaluate yourself, or become someone that you've always wanted to be. Like, read Michelle
Yes.
Obama's Becoming, and decide when quarantine is over. If there's one thing that I've learned about quarantine in the saddest kind of emo way, it's that
Mm-hmm.
life is short. It's not promised.
That's a
You never
fact.
know when it's going
Yep.
to end. So if there's something that you want to do, no matter what that is, like, you absolutely need to go for it. And now is the time. Like, there should be no reason it should hold you back. If it's something that you have to wait to do until after quarantine, as soon as social distancing and a cure or vaccine is found for COVID, like, at that moment, that is your time to shine. Like, I want you, whoever's listening to this, to do whatever it is that you want to do. And I 100% fully support that, as long as it's something that is safe, you know, something that's going to be a better person. Because life is short, and I don't want anyone to ever have a regret of like, oh, I missed out, or oh, I didn't do that, or oh, I should have done that when I was younger. You know, I'm approaching the big 3-0 soon.
Ow, hey.
And so I don't want there to be like anything that, oh, I wish I had in my 20s. Like, I'm going to do everything that I say I want to do now, with no regrets, and I'm going to have fun. I'm going to live life to the fullest, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I hope that's one thing that we're all learning in this kind of really sad, gloomy way to learn that is just that life is short, and you never know, another pandemic can hit some, you know, the next year. So go for whatever it is that you want to do. Like, don't let it hold you back. And if you can get started in quarantine, do it. You know, you have more time. There's never been a time that you have more time to start a business, especially if you have a 9-to-5, because you're working from home. You know, you can do what you need to do.
That's a fact.
Manage your time.
You can finesse now more than ever, people.
Get snatched. Health. Oh, that's another bit. That's a whole other conversation. But definitely, I've been trying to like get better with my health. Just starting from cleansing from the inside out, like drinking the water. You know, doing detox drinks and whatever it is. Like, I'm drinking my probiotics right now. Like,
come on, probiotics. But you know, like, I was about to say, you sponsored.
Not sponsored, but like, yo, this is the time, girl. Wear your waist trainer around the house, like whatever.
Girl, speaking of waist trainer, honey, I had my waist trainer on when I was running earlier outside.
Yes, okay, like whatever.
Yes, but I love all of this. It's so true. There's no better time to start than now. And anytime I hear this kind of message from someone else, I'm always like, okay, that's a sign. I believe in signs, right? So if anyone out there was like, oh, I'm asking for a sign, like, give me a sign. This is your sign, sis. This is it. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you're tapped in. There's a reason why you're listening to this. There's no better time to start or to do something than right now. And you know, as like a last question, because you said that you're using this quarantine to like become your best self, what are the things that you've been tapping into? So you said health is one of them. Like, what's one or two more things that since you've been in quarantine, you know, switched up and, you know, tried to become a better Ashley by doing it?
Yeah, one of those things is just spending time by myself, like dating myself. So if I want to
dating myself
to eat, I'm gonna do that. If I want to buy myself flowers, I'm going to do that. And I think this is manifesting.
It is.
What a woman can do for herself, men notice that. So they're like, oh, she can already take herself to a 5-star restaurant. Let me fall in line. I'm gonna have to take a 5-star restaurant. So I'm dating myself. I'm working on my health. And I'm putting more thought into things that make me happy. So that's why you're seeing so much from Black Girls Graduate. What makes me happy. I wish you all can see like our inbox and like the messages that we get. Like, it is what keeps me going. Just knowing the type of impact that I'm making. Just seeing the messages of like the girls saying how inspired they are by looking at this page. And it takes me back to being in college and just thinking about like, oh, what am I going to do with my life? How am I going to get there? Or you know, what can I do? And like to be able now to go on our page and you can scroll, you can find another girl that's a RN, you can find another girl that's a lawyer, you can find another girl that works in media entertainment, and you can reach out to her, and you know, these bonds are being formed. And I see it in the comments.
I love that.
So that's really what I've been working on lately.
Beautiful and so inspiring, girl. Yes, honey, getting your business together, getting that health together, and then dating yourself. I love that. Yes, honey, I love that for you. And I'm manifesting it for you, sis. By the time we have our next collaboration, you're going to be like, that's crazy, because I was taking myself to 5-star restaurants, and then this travel ban lifted, and my man taking me to an island, and I'm going to be like,
period. That's going to happen. Okay. Period.
Honey, I'm manifesting it for you. Okay. Yes. Okay. So how can people, one, keep in contact with you, and then stay up to date on what's going on with Black Girls Graduate?
Yes, so follow Black Girls Graduate, and you're going to see a link to join our YPN network, which is our Young Professionals Network. You'll
Ooh,
be first
yes.
exclusive invites to all of our events that we'll be having.
Yes. Is there an age limit on that?
There's no age limit. There's
Okay.
no age limit. We reach all levels of women, and so you're also going to get opportunities for jobs. So that's really what we're also focused on.
Yes.
And if anyone would like to follow me, my Instagram is at Ashley. It's tagged on Soul Sister Network's
Yes,
page.
it is.
Kind of a funny spelling. I might change that soon, but it is for now. It's still at Ashley. You guys can follow me there, and I'll follow back. It's easier for me to communicate with you guys on there because once again, our Black Girls Graduate inbox has like thousands of.
I can only
thousands
imagine.
of DMs that I have
Yep.
not read. So make sure if you guys want to reach out to me personally, like I'll make sure I respond on my personal Instagram page.
Yes. Ashley, again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bomb.
I am so happy and honored to be on
Yes.
your platform, your Master Manifestors. I've had like such a great time tuning in. I've seen girls that like I literally look up to that you have already interviewed.
Yes,
So
look
really
at
awesome.
God. Yes, honey, and you fall right in line. Let's go, Black Girls Graduate.
Thank
I'm
you.
so ready for this. And I already know this is going to be the first of many. And now my wheels are turning. I'm like, okay, how can we do this again? How can we make it a little different? What can this look like for the future? So I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Again,
for anybody,
exactly, for anybody who like tuned in towards the end and you're like, okay, I like missed all of that. I'm saving this. This goes up on our official Soul Sister Network YouTube page, but then it also gets saved right to IG Live. So if you guys need to pick me up during the week, if you need some more inspiration, you could come back and watch. And we are here all for it. For anybody who's coming from Black Girls Graduate, be sure to follow Soul Sister Network.
Follow Soul Sister Network,
yes.
guys. Like, honestly, like our communities, it's resources for everyone. So guys, make sure you all follow for real. She has so much great content and things coming down the pipeline. Like you don't want to miss out on it.
Thank you so much, sis Al. So I'm gonna wrap it up, and thank you again. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you have any questions for me specifically or for Ashley, again, hop into our personal DMs. We'll appreciate it. This has been the bomb. Ashley, you're the bomb. Thank you so much again.
I loved it every second.
Same. I'm like, dang, can we do a part 2 like right now? Like what's going on at 9? I'm weak. I feel so good and rejuvenated, and I hope that everybody out there who tuned in feels the same way. Y'all are the bomb for tuning in, and I cannot wait for next week.
All right. I'll be tuned in.
Yes. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.